have remained as alive as ever when it comes to how the world is ordered. Myths of Geography charts a set of myths for our current age, revealing their enduring power and how they are fundamental to how we understand the world and its geography. Like the myths of antiquity, these myths are stories so powerfully ingrained in our consciousness that they can even stop us recognizing that they are, in fact, products of our own active imaginations. Though today's imagined geographies may be different from those of the past, they can just as readily send us on quixotic quests to El Dorado, or on journeys to slay dragons that never existed. This book considers some of the fundamental beliefs that define our lives and how they shape our experience of the world. It reveals that in so many ways, myth is geography. Such myths are imagined geographies, understandings of the world, and its countries, continents, borders, and regions that exist in each of our minds. These myths do not reflect the way the world actually is, but how it is imagined to be. They appear all around us and are constantly repeated in images, books, stories, maps, textbooks, speeches, performances, films, and the media. Each of them informs how we both perceive and live in the world. But like the frightening monsters that once populated our maps, they don't always tell us what is really out there, but instead reveal our own preoccupations, desires, and anxieties. These myths are lenses through which we ourselves are reflected. The 8 myths described in this book have been quietly absorbed since our earliest days as children gazing in fascination at a globe or coloring in maps and flags. Each chapter inverts some of our deep-seated assumptions about the world and reveals how myths can more readily move mountains and create continents than any natural processes of physical geography. The following chapters recount the tall tales we tell ourselves about the world, asking what are the implications if taken for granted geographical realities suddenly look less certain. If some of the most brilliant cartographers of the day once drew the world upside down, then what alternative ways of seeing might be out there? Could it be that some of the foundational assumptions held about the world are little more than make-believe? And what are the consequences of living in a world, not as it actually is, but how we imagine it to be? This book counters a prevailing and long-standing invention about the world, the notion of environmental determinism. Originating in ancient Greece, this is the idea that the climate and the physical environment has an influence on human intelligence and societal development. It is a belief that was later particularly well suited to the racism and hierarchies of the colonial epoch, and its needs to justify imperial rule over distant lands and people. Centuries of deterministic thinking have meant that implicit biases about geography and the environment have proved to be troublingly persistent. They lead to a false assumption that geography is destiny, and somehow the key to understanding the rise and fall of civilizations, the prevailing world order, and our geopolitical futures. In this essentialist account of the world, geography comes first, and the map follows it. However, the connection between humans and geography is a multi-directional one. We have agency in shaping our world. From the sculpting of new landscapes, seen vividly in the reclaiming of land in the North Sea that has redrawn the borders of the Netherlands, or in the felling of the Amazon rainforest to create vast tracts of farmland. It can also be seen in the invention of new technologies, from nuclear weapons to drones, that render once strategic territories insignificant.